Why might you want to use Project Broadcast as a prospecting tool? There are a few different reasons. One could be that you are a little sick of social media and how the algorithm is choosing what people can see. You're maybe getting shadow banned, you're maybe getting blocked entirely from your account. So incorporating a text marketing tool could be a really good idea for you. You may also be kind of dropping the ball on follow-up with leads. So if you have a system that automates follow-up for you, like Project Broadcast, that could be a huge benefit to your business. You can also use Project Broadcast as a prospecting tool because it helps you build relationships. You are going to be super consistent, effective, impactful, adding value, nurturing people on their journey to becoming a customer or a team member, really building that solid relationship foundation. So how does it work? How do you prospect with Project Broadcast? You are going to share an offer or a resource with a future customer or team member. You can share this offer or resource in person. So things like vendor events, parties, just one-on-one, the person sitting next to you on the plane if you want to. You can also share online. So you can share through a blog post, a video. You can share through a podcast on social media. But you're going to share an offer or a resource in one of these ways. Once you share that resource, you are going to have people text you a keyword in Project Broadcast. When they text that to you, it's going to trigger an automation of some kind. For example, an auto reply, which will share your resource with the new contact. Before getting into Project Broadcast and setting up your automation, there are a few questions that I encourage you to ask yourself. It really helps to have a vision of how things are going to work before you start clicking away in Project Broadcast. And the first question is, what resource do you have to share with people? I like to call this an irresistible resource because it's something that's going to make them say yes, absolutely, to joining your text list. What is that thing that you can give people access to? This can be anything. This can be a blog post, a 5 tips graphic, a podcast episode, a video. What resource do you have to share with people that will get them on your list? They will not be able to say no to it. Make sure you know what that is before digging in. Next, when somebody sends that keyword to you to get access to your irresistible resource, is it enough to collect their name and birthday, or is there other information that you would like to have? So think about what other information you would like to collect. And I'd be very careful here about how much information you choose to collect. People get a little overwhelmed when we are asking for more than 3 to 5 pieces of information. So first name makes a lot of sense, but what else do you really need to know about them right up front to be able to serve them well? Once you have an answer to this question, you can move on to the next one. Once you get people into Project Broadcast, they have said yes to your resource, they are on your text list. How are you going to add value to these people? What are you going to do to continue to nurture that relationship, continue to nudge them along their journey? What value do you have to add? These can be things like sharing resources you've come across, engaging, generating conversation. You might offer event invites, weekly tips. This can look a lot of different ways depending on your business. Just make sure you have a pretty clear idea of how you'll add value in the future. And then where are you going to share this resource and keyword? Where are you currently showing up on social media or in person where it makes a lot of sense to hype up this offer, to get this information out there so you can share your keyword? Some sample answers here for an automation that I might run as a Project Broadcast lover is before I open Project Broadcast, I might think about the irresistible resource I have to share with people. And in this hypothetical example, I have created a 5-message campaign that is 5 reasons that I think Project Broadcast is an essential tool for anyone's business. That is the resource I have to share. This would be a really good fit for people who are on the fence about Project Broadcast, right? When somebody sends in that keyword, I want to collect their first name and last name. I'd love to have their birthday, but I also want to know what industry they're in, because that will help me serve them very, very well later on if I know what kind of business they do. And since I'm somebody who teaches about Project Broadcast, I'd like to know how they like to learn. Do they like to listen, read? Do they want a step-by-step checklist? What are the different ways that they like to learn? I'm going to be asking them those questions. To add value, continuing value to these contacts once they join my list, I am going to invite them to training opportunities, and I'm also going to offer my weekly tips campaign for them to opt into. And then I am present on Instagram and Pinterest. So those are the platforms I am going to share my keyword in. I could also do this any other way that I would normally share. So in person, I talked about a couple examples already. I can share this on my blog, on my podcast. Wherever you show up is where you would share this. But in this example, I'm choosing Instagram and Pinterest. So how does this all work? Well, they're going to see me share my keyword on Instagram or Pinterest, right? My keyword is PB. So they text PB to my Project Broadcast number, which just happens to be 254-545-9626. When they do that, they receive an auto reply containing a survey with those questions that I wanted to know about them. It's called a configurable form in Project Broadcast. I'm asking them first name, last name, birthday, industry, and how they like to learn. Once they submit those survey answers, they are automatically added to my 5-message time-lapse campaign that tells them the 5 reasons I think Project Broadcast is a game-changing tool in business. They're going to receive that first message at a 1-minute delay from submitting my form. This is all automated once it's set up. I am completely hands-off. I can be sleeping. I can be eating popcorn, and this is just running on its own. If you are interested in testing this sample, you can go ahead and actually text PB to me at 254-545-9626. I am not going to put you into my lead flow or anything. I'm not going to spam you. This is just so you can test my sample so you can see how it works from start to finish. You send the keyword, you get the survey, you get added to my 5-message campaign. Super cool to check out. Feel free to do it. Don't feel obligated to if you don't want to. If you are interested in setting something like this up in Project Broadcast, we do have a Prospecting with Project Broadcast course that walks you through this setup step by step and shows you how to use the combination of keywords and configurable forms to make this completely automated. I'm going to go ahead and drop that link to the course in the description below. Please, as always, feel free to send me questions at 254-545-9626. Thanks for learning with me.